I've experienced two significant reckonings with my body aging. Both are at this point chronic, I suppose, but speak to very different conditions. Balding is the first, and nausea is the second. I noticed my baldness at 25, though since I was actually losing hair in the back of my head I didn't notice it until long after it had started, and even to this day have only ever seen it via a secondary source, whether that's a double mirror or friends' Fords or a photograph. The nausea, my body's second perceived failure, fortified itself as a consistent phenomenon shortly before my 30th birthday and has continued the past 2 years. This is a deeper sign of aging, an actual failed and continuously failing calibration between different parts of my own being. Unlike balding, where I am always second-hand witness, I am the first and only witness to this defect of aging, and I try to turn my language into the double mirror, fogged as it may be from its own inability to escape the condition it tries to describe, to recount, in hopes of extinguishing its existence to doctors, therapists, etc. These are two standouts from my aging process thus far. While I used to be hyper-aware of the physical indication of my aging, I am now hypersensitive to an unattainable feeling of stasis, like an FM car radio on a long road trip coming and leaving areas of understanding and harmonization. This attention to my internal state hasn't prevented me from grafting ideas of stability onto smiling strangers, concerned loved ones, etc. But now I'm wondering how these two standouts of my own aging process have affected my practice the past 2 years, other than just slowing it down. I had been making a series about the digital afterlives of destroyed objects when my nausea kicked in. Some things made manifest in my ideas about preservation, or the act of age-defying, have popped up. A portrait, like that of Mona Lisa, pre-digital copy era, seems ready to actually take over as the sole representation of a person after they have aged out of existence. A post-digital copy era shoots out like nesses in all directions. One of millions of a copy of a portrait are no longer the sole heirs of likeness to a conscious being that once existed. A digital copy of something should show representational side effects of its aging in order to show the weight it carries for being so ubiquitous. An aged Mona Lisa tells us how tired it is of being one of about 2 paintings referenced in relation to the entire history of art making. Photos of the ice caps should melt. Rebuilt global heritage should be allowed to disappear, to hide, to stop reproducing itself in the wake of its demise.